morning, everybody. All right, let's begin with ringing the bell 3 times. We'll let that sound and vibration call us into this room, call us into our bodies and everything that we're experiencing, and call us into our practice. Begin with the path clearing and wish fulfilling prayer to Padmasambhava, and we'll follow that with our refuge prayer. Dosum Sangye Guru Rinpoche Nundro Kundak Dewa Chen Poja Barche Kunsel Dudru Drakotel Solwan Depso Jinji Lap Tu So Chinang Sanway Barche Jiwadam Sampalungji Drupal Jinji Lob. Precious guide, one with all the Buddhas of the 3 times, blissful presence and source of all spiritual accomplishments, fierce destroyer of illusion who dispels every obstruction. We pray to you for blessing, inspiration, and realization. Please remove all outer, inner, and secret obstacles, and spontaneously fulfill our aspirations. In Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, we go for refuge until fully awakened through the power of generosity, ethics, patience, enthusiastic effort, concentration, and wisdom. For the sake of all beings, may we realize and demonstrate our innate goodness. In Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, we go for refuge until fully awakened through the power of generosity, ethics, patience, enthusiastic effort, concentration, and wisdom. For the sake of all beings, may we realize and demonstrate our innate goodness. In Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, we go for refuge until fully awakened through the power of generosity, ethics, patience, enthusiastic effort, concentration, and wisdom. For the sake of all beings, may we realize and demonstrate our innate goodness. So as we settle into our practice today, be mindful of your breath, breathing all the way into your lower lungs, feeling your belly move out as you breathe in. Super important to have a full and deep breath, relaxing, releasing, finding ease in our practice. So breathing fully, take a few deep breaths through your nose if you can, feeling the belly move out, holding just for a moment, and feeling the sensation of holding, and then releasing fully. Like a balloon emptying completely, everything out. Breathe in. Big sigh. Breathe in. So we'll use this breath as we chant as well. So we'll take deep breath in, And then chant Lama Cheno, meaning calling in the Lama or awakening the teacher within each of us. Lama Cheno, Lama Cheno, Lama Che Cheno, 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 Lama Cheno, Lama Cheno, Lama Che Cheno. Sitting in the natural great perfection. Everything perfect as it is. Sitting with natural body, not too tight, not too loose. the experience of being in this physical body. Discomforts included. Sit with natural breath and energy, breathing fully, nourishing the body, focusing on the inhalation and relaxing and releasing on the exhalation. Breathing in all that is good, breathing out, sharing that, not grasping, not clinging. Sitting with natural heart-mind. Sitting with openness. Aware of our own resistance and aversions. Experiencing everything in its completeness. Remember, as we sit, give yourself permission to let go of doing and try just being. Just sitting. Breathing fully. And being fully. Padme Hum. Om Mani 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 Padme Hum. By the blessings of the Triple Gem, may the minds and hearts of all beings be attuned to the sublime Dharma. Bless us to move forward on the path of true understanding. May the way be cleared of impediments. Bless us that the elusive vision may appear in the light of the transcendent wisdom of Buddha. May unskillful thoughts and actions cease to arise. Bless us with the awakening of true love and compassion. May all beings realize perfect enlightenment. Does anybody struggle when I say everything is perfect? Natural great perfection. Nothing needs changed. Anybody struggle with that? You can be honest. Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah?
I'm aware of what philosophy is, but the actual thing.
What do you think it means?
The idea that you can accept everything as it is, because that's the way it's supposed to be. At least that's the way I am.
Why is that hard?
Because I don't think it's the way it's supposed to be as it is.
Ah.
Or it's supposed to be, or what, it is.
Because supposed to be feels uncomfortable.
Well, what's supposed to be, yeah, I mean, what is.
What is uncomfortable, and what's supposed to be is what makes me not uncomfortable, right?
What is supposed to be.
Yeah. So, the first of the Eightfold Path is what? No, that's Four Noble Truths. It's what? It's
Right view, correct view.
complete and wise view. Most important of the Eightfold Path. Most important. This is the thing that all of the others sort of point to and reinforce. So remember, the Eightfold Path supports the Four Noble Truths that say suffering exists. There's a cause for that suffering. a cure for that suffering, and the cure for that suffering is the Eightfold Path. And if I'm saying the most important thing on the Eightfold Path is wise and complete view, pay attention to that one. So in our wise and complete view, we are to find calm abiding and understanding and an ease in understanding, having a complete and wise, full view of things just as they are. So if I'm saying that everything's perfect, perfect in its imperfection, perfect in its incompletion, perfect in its completion. So think about the things that make you uncomfortable, that are perfect, as I say. Anger. Is anger perfect? Anger is perfectly angry, and therefore it is complete. And it's the opposite of what? Joy. And is joy incomplete, or is it complete joy? No? Yeah? Things that are broken are perfectly broken. Things that are whole are completely whole. See where I'm going? Pain is pain in its complete form. Discomfort is completely uncomfortable. So we can say that all things are perfectly as they are, as they should be. And just because they're uncomfortable for us doesn't mean that's not the way they're supposed to be. I used to hold up my water and say, turn this into a Volkswagen. Can you do it? No. So can you make broken things unbroken? No. They're still broken, but you struggle through that. And you suffer through that. Because you want to control it and make it comfortable. And if you can't, you distract yourself from it. And that knowledge, the awareness of that knowledge, is part of your wise and complete view as well. So it's our practice to open up to all of those things, comfortable and uncomfortable, to see that they are complete in this experience. Darkness doesn't exist without light. Bad needs good to balance it out, to define it. Uncomfortable needs comfortable to define it. So we can endeavor to start to find ease, that things are as they are. Notice what is uncomfortable and let it be uncomfortable. With the wisdom of that, we can turn our actions to things that make us, that don't involve or don't induce an unskillful reaction from us. Because we see it as it is. And that wise and complete view gives us the ability to act with wisdom. So I want to open that up for a little discussion. Had you thought of it that way before? No? Yeah? Is that hard? Yeah. Hard to think of pain and discomfort as perfect. Because we don't want it to be painful. We don't want others to be in pain, so that makes us uncomfortable. We have a reaction. And therein lies the birth of suffering.
I feel like when I think about pain, suffering, and discomfort, I immediately go to how do I mitigate? And then I realize that in this practice, I realize that although that's my first thought process, is that that is the pain, suffering, and discomfort, because I'm now stuck in how do I fix it, rather than just saying, oh, this is pain or discomfort. So it's my desire to fix it, which is actually causing me more discomfort.
And I would say the complete view of that is the blind desire to fix it. That is the discomfort and the suffering. Because we can still have intention and still have effort toward fixing it, helping to relieve someone else's suffering, helping to relieve our own suffering. If it's painful for me to sit this way and I'm aware of it, maybe I can sit a different way. Not just, oh, I'm perfectly in pain, so I will just sit here. But I can make wise and complete decisions based on my wise and complete view. So when I understand that my reaction is to fix, what is mine to fix can be our thought. I won't touch that thing anymore.
I think it's easy intellectually to understand, to comprehend it, but it's when you connect the emotions with that knowledge is when it becomes difficult to use.
And I'd say incorporate that. That's part of the endeavor, part of the exploration is understanding our own reaction. How that mixes in. Like, I know I'm having an emotional reaction to seeing someone else in suffering and someone else that's in distress, that I then become in distress and I want to fix. But awareness of that opens it up, and we understand I'm having a reaction, and without the awareness of it, our reactive action could be unskillful and not helpful. Or if we sort of take a step back and open up and see, okay, they're in this position, I'm reacting in this position, I can now, with that knowledge, act with this. Make sense? And help to relieve that suffering. It's not about just hands off and going, yeah, everything's screwed up, let it go, wee. It's not really about that. It's about then turning that into wise and skillful action. Our intentions can be wise and skillful because we're aware of the completeness of the experience. The completeness including our reactions. Yeah? Does that feel useful? It's important, and I know that that's a resistance when I see resistance when I say natural great perfection, everything is good as it is. Everything is perfect as it is. perfectly incomplete, perfectly broken, perfectly screwed up, perfectly unskillful. Because that's what it is. It is what it is. It's water, not a Volkswagen. Yeah? What else? Anybody struggling with practice? Anybody struggling with that thought? How so? So make it an active practice. I am mindfully driving to work and not escaping, not distracting.
Actually, being mindful of work is tiring as well.
Yes, it can be.
Well, what I mean is like I'm trying to be mindful of my reach and everything, and then there are lots, but
Well, that's a good point too. I mean, we have to.
I start out. I really, in the first 3-4 hours, and then and I'm aware of it. I'm not as
So what is that telling you?
So
What is that telling you?
well, I'm tired.
Okay, great. So how do we act? How do we act with wisdom knowing that you're tired?
Well, I can slow down, but doing it mindfully actually takes longer than it's supposed to take.
So mindfully rest. Mindfully go to bed. Mindfully release that task list that you're dragging around.
But if you take many meditations, I think any meditation is like 1 or 2 minutes all throughout.
That's great. That's a great practice.
Or that, you know, walk down this long hallway and that'd be my meditation. I don't at least a couple hours, it's really.
Surya Das says, and I can't remember what master he quotes, but he says, many quickie equal one longy. So 2-minute practice, 1-minute practice is good practice.
Yeah, I have to do that today.
So give yourself a little bit of credit that you are keeping up your practice all throughout the day.
When I get home and want to do the meditation, sometimes I want to fall asleep.
Yeah, sometimes that's hard. And, you know, our goal is to take it off the cushion. You know, we have, you know, specific time that we set aside like this, where we're dedicating to, I'm going to sit for 20 minutes, or I'm going to sit for 15 minutes and really practice being in silence. But it's practicing to carry that off the cushion into normal life and being awake and aware as much as we can in our daily activities. So
The drive to work, I'm generally pretty much on the way home, like, I want to get home.
yeah.
This is about traffic or traffic lights and people and that, in my head, I'm not really aware.
Do you mindfully distract at all, like by listening to the radio or singing
Well, I
a
usually
song?
listen to NPR and I've got to learn. Just listen to news in the morning, when I go home, and I've got to write. Either I don't hear about that, or it seems like I turn it off.
Yeah. Well, that's because that's thinking. So maybe
And
take.
if I play some music sometimes, I have few guns, like, no, I want to hear that now. I just turn it off and just have nothing. Most of the time, I have listened to anything. Music, sometimes it's right music, other times it's like that's not what I want to hear.
Yeah. I I chant a lot in the car. Just gonna admit that. Because I run through the stations and I go, nope, 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 nope. Turn off, and then I find a chant that I like. Yeah, it's too much. Because that's more doing. That's more thinking. Yeah. So I would say be personal. Yeah. So mindfully take some breaks. In whatever way is that you're able to. And I say chanting because I can do that repetitively, and I start to lose myself in it, and I'm not chanting anymore. I'm just sort of making a sound and vibration. You can do it in your head, yeah.
I do it in my head. But you have to do it locally. You can bring it home.
I have a habit of, how other people say OMG. I say, oh, mane, padme, hum. I'll run across something in work, and it's my OMG, my OMG moment. So I'm sure the people around me are like, what the hell is that padme, what?
I think chanting is like when you have music that's so familiar. I'm sort of thinking about it, it's like Aretha or Carole King for me.
Yeah.
Right, that's exactly right. Because I started thinking that I don't chant.
Well, the thing that I think it does is, because for me, because I associate things with music. I'm grew up in a very musical family, and so I'll associate Aretha with something or someone, which makes me kind of react in a way of thinking about that, or bringing an emotion. Where chanting, I can be sort of almost prescriptive, and it's it's the same. I can see the intention behind the translation of what it means, but I can also just sort of sink into making the sound and vibration, and it becomes like breath. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a sound. I told you I don't like it when you go, ooh, yeah, I enjoy that. But I think it's the same reverberate. I'm thinking that that kind of music reverberates in the body. So, I understand that.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter though. That's the thing. Like you can be completely tone deaf and still chant, and just you're making sound and vibration, not song and lyric. I also do things to sort of disrupt when I see that I'm into a pattern of thought, and driving is, we talk about my driving all the time, but where I feel myself getting agitated by other drivers, and I'm feeling unsafe, and I'm starting to feel anxiety, that I'll do in the car at the stoplight to disrupt that. Do something to disrupt. I know that I'm doing it. Stop. Yeah? Try it. Plus it works out a little bit of aggression too. If you're feeling like, yeah.
Not so bad until he does it when he's in the passenger seat.
It's my skillful reaction. It's true.
Sometimes, like yesterday, I was really stressed out, and everyone was freaking out on the road. And
Yeah.
because I was about to go postal.
Yeah.
But it's amazing just taking big, deep, deliberate breaths.
Yeah.
How good it feels.
Yeah.
Especially when you're stressed out.
I
Just talk after the way that it's
I don't think they like the way that I wave.
I think, well, there's a disruption that you can do there too that sort of, sometimes it works for me, where I start to really sort of drive with compassion, where I pull back and let other people, you go ahead. And, you know, it seems kind of counterintuitive because you know, these people are on my nerves. I want to show them they're on my nerves.
I can do that to the easier, so they go on.
And so they won't go.
Yeah.
No, go. No, go. No, go.
Everybody is four-way stop and then, okay. It's actually your turn.
Yep. I just go. Okay. I just go.
I try to let the other people have their hands.
There's a lot of other drivers that think that they're in control of everything too. No, you go. No, you go. I'm gonna win. You go. Yeah. Mindfully aware that everything is in its perfection. Unskillful people are in their perfection, being unskillful. And we can be aware of that and avoid interaction.